when you're sharing a story, when how will people pay attention. So dopamine is like when they start feel motivated. So you have to motivate them. I'll give you an example as well. Let's say people have had to face numerous challenges in their life. Like take an example of Nelson Mandela. He has been into jail for 27 years. If I put you in jail for 5 years, what would your life be? Imagine. So you got motivated. I'm not alone. Okay. So what did I do right now? I just evoked dopamine in your mind that okay, if they can do it, I can also do it. Why should you tell story? Let me do you want others to pay attention to you?
Uh, yes, and I want them to know what I want to share, means the
Your
message.
answer is yes, right? Just answer in yes or no.
Yes,
Do you want others to listen to you?
yes,
Do you want others to feel what you feel?
yes,
Do you want others to understand you?
yeah,
Do you want others to engage with you when you speak?
yes, absolutely.
Do you want others to follow you?
Yeah,
Do you want others to learn from you?
exactly.
Do you want others to respect you?
Yes,
And do you want others to buy from you?
yeah,
Then you should tell stories.
mm,
There are millions of ways and reasons why you should be a storyteller. And after understanding all of this, if still you don't tell stories, then only God can save you.
mm,
So great communicators, the leaders, the celebrities, the politicians, the sports persons, they are storyteller. They know the art of storytelling. So right now, I'm just trying to plant a seed in your mind and making you realize the importance of storytelling. So I'm giving you all the reason why you should start telling stories. Okay, Veena?
mm,
I hope you're getting my point,
yes.
right? All right. Okay. So if you want people to pay attention to you, listen to you, feel what you feel, understand you, engage with you, follow you, learn from you, respect you, and buy from you, then you must start telling stories. You have the new perspective that, okay, it is so important to tell a story, otherwise, I'm doing such a big mistake,
Mm,
right?
mm,
Okay. So, what happens when we tell stories, Beena? Now, remember, I was telling you that you would have the remote control in your hand, and when you will share stories, the kind of stories and the emotions and the lines that you will tell and the words that you will use, it will arouse and evoke different kind of emotions in the audience's mind. So, for example, you have gone there and you stood up on the stage and you started motivating people, right? And you said something, an audience got motivated. So what happens? There's a hormone called dopamine. These are mind chemicals, brain chemicals. So dopamine is a kind of chemical. When you start evoking dopamine in the other people by motivating people, so what happens? They start to pay attention to you, okay? And they start to memorize what you're saying, and they don't forget you. You become, as a storyteller, you become memorable. So when you motivate people, so for example, in a session you said everything, but at the end you encouraged everybody. You encouraged everybody. And at the end, what happened? The dopamine spiked and everyone feeling like a cloud nine. And you said, whatever Bina said, I'm going to walk on it. Why is it that sometimes you guys go ahead and feel very glad and happy after my session and you start making videos and share it with the world? Why? Because I evoke dopamine in your mind.
okay.
So dopamine is a motivational hormone which gets activated when someone uses the kind of words that you feel encouraged and motivated. So what you do in turn, you start to pay attention, your memory gets increased, the speaker whom you're listening to becomes memorable. Okay? And you can also do that. Who is stopping you to do that, right? Cortisol. So cortisol is basically a fear hormone. Sometimes you're sharing a horror story and other people started to feel intimidated and got scared. But sometimes it is said that some level of intensity is important. Some level of fear is important, because sometimes what happens, those people who do not take action by self motivation, they take action by getting some kind of intensity when you put them accountable, when you put them in spotlight, and that is also important. So as a speaker, you also should know when you tell stories or when you share something using kind of words which can let people stand on their feet and start taking action. So what happens in the changes in your mind when you share something intense? The people start to feel threatened. People start to feel danger. You say, you know what? If I don't do it now, it will be too late. Okay. Oxytocin, feeling of love. Now, because you're sharing a story, so I remember when I shared a story of myself when I got my first salary of 6,000 rupees and I gifted that phone to my mom. You know, people felt empathetic towards me, because I'm sure every person in India who would have got his first or second salary, they would have done something or other for their parents.
Yes.
But people don't talk about it. So when I told that story, people, the oxytocin, this hormone got evoked in their mind, and they started resultantly feeling empathy. They felt that I'm trustworthy. They started to feel that, okay, I want to connect with Tauseef. He's very authentic. This is what happens. But you know what Tauseef is doing? He knows that if I share something from my personal life, I'm different. I'm evoking and activating different kind of hormones into my listener's mind. To you, it may feel like Asif is just exceptional. I will just be with him. I want to respect him. But to me, I know I'm authentic. I'm not faking it. But I also know at the same time that if I share this kind of a thing, it will bring a lot of changes in the people's mind. Okay. So hope you're getting the point, Bina.
Yes.
What happens and what kind of a different chemical reaction happens when you start telling stories, Bina? Okay, imagine Bina's also start following it, understood the importance of it, and she start to share these kind of stories. And what will happen? As you came with a dream that Tauseef, I want to be like you, I want to be a speaker like you, right? Your dream will be fulfilled. You already speak well. It is just yet you learn this. You want to learn the strategies, and that's what I'm sharing with you. The strategies that I personally follow. Sometimes just people understand it, but they don't follow it. But I know that you're someone who implement it as well. So you will learn it simple. Okay. Endorphin, a surge of pleasure, natural painkiller. So what happens? You shared a story, and the story was very painful, and people were feeling empathetic for you, and you just shared all of the struggle, and people were like, "Oh my God, Tausif have had to gone through so much in his life. I wish I could have been at his place and I could have helped him with money, resources, and everything. I'm feeling so sorry for Tausif." But when Tausif shared his version 2.0 that he has got everything in his life, then what happened? A surge of pleasure in the audience. They started to feel very good that, okay, the pain that they were feeling for me, it has got naturally removed because Tausif has overcome all of the challenges. And that's why in a story, if you're just sharing the struggle and the failures, that's not a story. That's a pure normal content. Story has everything, all the ingredients that I would talk about and later at later stage. So endorphin gets activated when you start sharing your pain, but at the same time, you start to share about how did you overcome those challenges and adversities in your life, and people will feel proud on you. Tausif, you inspired me. Bina, you inspired me, right? If you just talk about failures, what is the point for people to listen to you? People are more interested to know, okay, you face the failure, I also face the failure, so I am interested to know how did you overcome them.
Yes. The success after that.
Absolutely. Or at least tell me what did you follow to overcome them. All right. And the last one, serotonin, feel happy, pain relief, stress relief. This this chemical reaction, this hormone gets evoked when you are sharing a story and people are just simply loving it. People are saying, you know what, Asif, just keep telling me. I'm just loving it. I want to learn from you. I'm feeling so good. Why? Because there has been certain challenges which they were dealing with in the past. Okay, and they were looking for a solution that they could not find. But the moment you started sharing your story and you started sharing something tangible and something relevant, those people started to feel, yo, this is what I wanted. So far, I never got this. Please tell me more. I'm feeling so good about it. I feel like you're resolving my life's problem, right? So the day you understand that there are different buttons to evoke and activate different hormones in the people's in the audience mind, but you have the remote control in your hand, is the day you will realize that this is so powerful. Okay, Veena, what do you
Yes.
think?
But like you talk about all these are the hormones, right? Like whenever I'm sharing any story, how will I know that?
I have written the caveat like when you're sharing a story, when how will people pay attention. So dopamine is like when they start feel motivated. So you have to motivate them. Cortisol when you're sharing something challenging with the people. Okay.
That means
Suppose,
different
For
stories,
example,
different.
I'll give you an example as well. Let's say Bina was facing, feeling low. She came to me and, she was overwhelmed with the kind of workload that she had. And I said, Bina, it's very normal. Everybody has problems. It is just that the people show their good, best part on the social media and they hide their worst part for their privacy. They don't share their worst part.
Hmm.
If you're going through challenges in life, it is absolutely okay and normal. People have had to face numerous challenges in their life. Like, take an example of Nelson Mandela. He has been into jail for 27 years. If I put you in jail for 5 years, what would your life be? Imagine. So you got motivated. I'm not alone. Okay. So what did I do right now? I just evoked dopamine in your mind that okay, if they can do it, I can also do it. Now, cortisol. I'll evoke cortisol in your mind, Bina. I'm giving you examples so that you can understand it. So, Bina, if you think that communication is so easy to improve, you are wrong. You have to work hard. Okay? You have to work hard. You have to give time to it. You have to think, breathe, eat in English. If you think that you jive just by speaking sometime and someday and just by practicing in 1 or 2 day a week, you will become a great communicator, you're wrong. Now I'm scaring you. I am scaring you. I'm threatening you in a very politely and a professional way. What am I doing? I am evoking cortisol in your mind. So, by the way, it's a cyclic reaction. So, when you will share a story, your story should be filled with at least 3 to 4 these kind of hormones. So, what will happen?
That's what means this
That is
question
how
came.
that is how you'll be able to serve a great dish. So imagine you're getting you expecting some guest next week, and they are very premium guest, and
Hmm.
you were waiting for them from like past 5 years. So you plan to prepare some good dish. How would you prepare good dish? You have to focus on ingredients, right? If
Hmm.
all the ingredients will meet and they're in the right ratio, only then the best of the best dish will be prepared. If you want to prepare a very good stories, then it has to have all the ingredients. And I have not come to that Bina yet. I have not spoken about how to craft a story. So don't just think about the future. Right now, your focus should be okay, what it is. Don't jump the gun.
Yes, yes.
Okay? Just stay in the present. Understand what I'm trying to say. So I gave you an example of cortisol. So example of oxytocin is the first phone that I got from my mom. Oxytocin, you felt empathy for me, right? Example of endorphin, I had to lift cylinders on cycles. I didn't have even 1 rupee in my pocket when I would look at the balloon so that I can buy it. I didn't have 1 rupee in my pocket. Other used to buy balloon and I didn't have money. I'll come back to my mom and say, Mom, and my mom would say, okay, I'll get 10 rupees because I have sieved the blouse of that lady. She will give me 10 rupees tomorrow and then I will give you 1 rupee. Problem. So I also become sometimes emotional when I share this. But but when I share that, okay, I am an all of successful world-class communication coach from the point I never studied in English medium. Then you will say, you know what, natural pain relief, a surge of pleasure. See, you rocked it. Bina, where were you right now? You're teaching people. English who are cracking IELTS, you rock that. I'm giving you examples. Serotonin, feel good pain relief. Anything that you're telling and people are just simply loving it. People did not get the answer, but because of what you're sharing right now, the story sharing you're sharing right now, they're feeling very, very good about it, Veena. I hope you get my point. Does that give you aha moment? Does that make you think that it is so important to understand all of this? And the biggies, the millionaires and the billionaires, they know all of these things and they do it purposely. They push the button and the audience goes like, oh, they push the button, ah. So it's all like, I will rock it, I'm unstoppable. And all of a sudden, like, oh my God, can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? No. So, Bina, understand this and start following it. And you will become the people would like to listen to you. Okay?
My question is like, I understood, okay, all like you, whatever you have mentioned that you should share story this way, and at least 3 or 4 of them should be
No,
there.
I'm not saying four of them. Sometime your story will be only based on dopamine, sometimes cortisol, sometimes oxytocin, sometimes endorphin, sometimes serotonin. अब तुम्हारा जो क्वेश्चन माइंड में चल रहा है उसका आंसर आपके अगली स्लाइड्स में आएगा, बाकी स्लाइड्स में आएगा, क्योंकि आई हैव नॉट टोल्ड यू हाउ टू क्राफ्ट गुड स्टोरीज. So you got to be patient. Right now, you just need to understand that this is it. Don't think about the future.
These
ये होता है.
needed, right? These are the things
Yeah,
needed. Okay.
absolutely. That's it. Don't think about the future. So, see, I always, if I teach anything to anyone, I always, and this is my fundamental law in life, that if I have to do something, I always think about why first. If you know, so as Simon Sinek says, that if you know the why, the how become easy. Right? So understand the why, why you should tell stories, why these are important. So I tell you the 10 reasons why you should tell stories. And then why stories? I'm telling you the 5 chemical reactions which happens in the audience's mind when you tell stories. आपको ये पता हो गया. अब why clear है. If anyone asks you why you should tell stories, you can tell a story.
Yes.